West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey was in Parkersburg this morning with the president of Americans for Tax Reform. Our Cassidy Fury is live with more details on the press conference. Cassidy, what can you tell us?
Thank you, Emma Grace. I'm here at Green Supply Depot in Parkersburg, where just a couple hours ago, Governor Morrisey addressed the state's plans for a 10% state income tax cut across the board. He says this cut will allow for business growth and more take-home pay for employees. In his steps to lower the income tax, Morrisey says he built the first 5% into the state's budget, and he's working with legislature to get that final 5%. Morrisey said his goal is to give control back to citizens of West Virginia when it comes to how they spend their money. West Virginia saw record-breaking investments in 2025, according to Morrisey. He feels that this tax cut will incentivize more businesses to invest in the state. His hope is to eliminate the state income tax completely by 2031. Grover Norquist, an anti-tax advocate and political activist, also spoke today. He said West Virginia is leading the charge of the 12 states that want zero state income taxes. Morrisey says legislative support in this tax cut initiative is critical. We'll hear from a business owner and West Virginia workers tonight on what this tax cut means for them. That's all I have here, Emma Grace. Back to you.